The clatter of falling chess pieces echoed through the study, a clashing sound in the otherwise quiet mansion. 5-year-old Stephanie, curious, had walked in, her small hand reaching out to touch the tricky carved pieces. Her father, engrossed in the game, barely glanced up. "Go play, you girl," he said, his voice distracted. Stephanie, ever eager to please, had sneaked up closer. Her father, mid-sentence, flinched, his hand shooting out, knocking over the board with a clatter. Pieces scattered across the floor, some landing at her feet. "Stupid girl," he roared, his face screwed up in anger. Tears welled up in Stephanie's eyes, but no comforting arms reached out to embrace her. Her mother, sitting peacefully in the drawing room, close to them, merely raised an eyebrow and continued her stitching. This was the first of many such incidents. Stephanie, the only daughter in a family obsessed with producing a male heir, was a constant disappointment to her father. His disappointment often manifested as precise yet dangerous form of cruelty. "Why can't you be more like your brother?" This refrain, uttered with a sigh of anger, became a constant feeling in Stephanie's childhood. Her father openly favored her younger brother, showering him with praise and expensive toys, while dismissing Stephanie's achievements as unimportant. Stephanie was often subjected to harsh physical punishments, justified as discipline. A hard shove when she bumped into him, a tight grip on her arm that left bruises, a slap across the face for a minor offense. These incidents became a painfully normal part of her life. The constant criticism destroyed her self-esteem, leaving her feeling worthless and unacceptable. Her father's emotional neglect, his refusal to acknowledge her feelings or provide any emotional support, left a gaping hole in her heart. Her father never missed an opportunity to express his disappointment in her gender. "If only you were a boy," he'd lament, his voice dripping with disdain. These words, repeated countless times, poisoned Stephanie's childhood, leaving her feeling ashamed of her very existence. Stephanie was constantly forced to witness her father's extravagant displays of affection for her brother. Lavish gifts, lavish praise, and endless opportunities were showered upon her brother, while Stephanie was put to a lower position, an invisible shadow in her own home. Her mother, a mother of quiet hopelessness, never intervened. She would avert her gaze, pretending to be unaware of her daughter's suffering. This silence, more loud than any scream, left Stephanie feeling utterly alone and abandoned. She learned that her mother's love was conditional, dependent on her father's approval, and that her own well-being was unimportant in the grand scheme of their marriage. The emotional scars ran deeper than the physical ones. The constant criticism eroded her self-esteem, leaving her feeling worthless and unacceptable. She grew into a beautiful young woman, but her heart remained guarded. Men, she decided, were unreliable, hurtful creatures. She built walls around herself, refusing to let anyone close. Dates were brief, friendships platonic. Love, she believed, was a dangerous illusion. Then she met Dave. He was an artist. his eyes reflecting a quiet strength that belied his gentle demeanor. He listened to her stories, not with pity, but with a quiet understanding. He didn't try to fix her, but he offered her a safe haven, a space where she could finally let down her guard. Slowly, tentatively, she began to trust. She learned to laugh again, to feel joy, to believe in the possibility of love. He showed her the beauty in the world, in the smallest of things. He taught her that love wasn't about possession or control, but about acceptance and support. He never tried to erase the scars of her past, but he helped her to heal them. He showed her that not all men were like her father, that some were kind, compassionate, and worthy of her trust. With him, she finally understood that true love wasn't about finding someone perfect, but about finding someone who loved her imperfections. Stephanie, charged by a quiet determination, built a successful career. She became a renowned entrepreneur and moved away to live with Dave. Years later, when her father, now a frail old man, fell ill and has no one to help him out, cause the son he looked up to grew up to join bad gang, wasted his father's money and became useless, and his wife is already dead from high blood pressure brought upon her by her son's behavior. He now have to sort her out. He was already a broken man, humbled by age and illness, begging for forgiveness. Stephanie, standing tall and composed, looked at the man who had caused her so much pain, a flicker of pity, then a cold resolve crossed her face. "Forgiveness," she said, her voice a low, dangerous growl. "You stole my childhood. You stole my joy. You stole my belief in myself. What do you think forgiveness tastes like?" She turned and walked away, leaving him to face the consequences of his action. Stephanie had finally found peace, not through forgiveness, but through the strength she had cultivated within herself. She had risen above the pain, built a life of her own, and ultimately found the power to heal herself.